And 1 second, you guys. I'm just getting this set. So hopefully we can get this going here. And this is me. I need to that everything is going. So we should be okay. Let me make sure that we're good. And I do apologize for this inconvenience here. Everybody's switching over. So what we're going to do, we're going to give people a couple of minutes to get in here, and I need to just start up my presentation. But I do deeply apologize for this issue here, and let me actually let me pull this over here. And what I want to do is get the I want to switch. I need to hold this onto the screen. So what we're going to do, we're going to get ready, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to crank up. And what I want to do, I want to share this screen here. But now what I'm going to do, I'm getting ready to play this one. So to make sure that everybody is there, we're going to see, make sure that everything is showing. And let's see, let me make sure. Yeah, it looks like everything is up. And we check in. Can everybody hear me? Yeah, I want to make sure everybody can hear me. If you guys can say yes or no, we can know what's going on. So if I can get people to where they can show me, if you can hear me, please just say yes. And then we can see what's going on. Good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you. So I do apologize. We switched systems, but for some reason, we having some issues with the normal tools I use to present with. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through this and we're going to look at this, and hopefully other people are going to go come in. But today we're going to do a teaching on learn from Moses and Aaron examples. We need to learn from Moses and Aaron examples in the Bible. Many people will still sit under people having bad examples for qualities and things of not to do. However, they'll sit there. One of the biggest problems is this: thinking they have the true doctrine when they can control even a priest. Many times because the priest is focusing on the money. See, they are calling themselves controlling a man of God or God himself, none of which is true, but they hold nothing above the word of God, to which they feel that they can control, long as they have part of the money to impart it into the church. So we're going to see some examples directly from men who murmur, and how the Most High see the outcomes from the examples of things what not to do. This is why it's kind of going to get important, because we're going to go into what's happening for next week, which need to be seen. So we're mainly going to be focusing on Aaron examples and Moses example, but mainly the focus of Aaron in his family. So we're going to be looking at Aaron's office because he was the priest, and we need to learn from him just having the title of a priest of the Most High, or truly being a priest of God. See, because people love titles in the church, but who are you going to obey? Are you going to obey the commandments of God, or are you going to obey the commandments of men? This is the main focus on what we need to be doing. See, thinking we're highly favored, and this is what people like to say. They are highly favored. Now, we're going to see this man from God, but the Most High wants us to learn one thing. not to lean to our own understanding when we're going through his word. Because we are not all Israel, as I've been telling you for the past couple of weeks. We're not all Israel that are of Israel. Just because they teach about Israel, doesn't mean they are of Israel. Please understand what I'm saying here. Let's look at Romans. Romans 9, and start at verse 6. It says, not as though the word of Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Understand what this is saying. For they are not all Israel that are of Israel. See, many of us are not going to believe the word of the Most High. And we think and teach what we believe, which is the word of God saying, but we'll search commentary faster than we will search the word of the Most High to see what he said. We don't go through the precepts. We'll just go through the strong concordance and we'll go through commentary of other men to see what he's saying. And based on those 10 choices, many times that concordance and commentaries give you, that's what you're going to hold as truth, and it don't have nothing to do with the Bible. This way, you can do doctrine that fit your lifestyle in their teachings just because they are Israel, as many people think it is the word of God, doesn't mean they are of Israel, which makes you Israel when you believe of the promise versus Israel that you believe of the flesh. See, you have many people thinking just because you're of the flesh that you're Israel and you're guaranteed to go into the kingdom. That's not the truth. The truth is the ones who believe in the promise and have the belief. We're gonna dig into this because we need to get the foundation to understand what's happening here, to understand what was going on with these two gentlemen. These was examples in the lifestyle to make sure your lifestyle doesn't fit the doctrines that are out there. So you need to transform yourself to fit the volume of the book, not use the volume of the book to make it fit your lifestyle. See, letting people control the flow in the direction that you should go when you should be letting the Most High direct your direction. You should go and you follow the direction that He said. We're going to dig into that. Verse 7, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall the seed be called. See, just because they say they are Hebrews and from Abraham, don't mean that they're children of God. Many came from Abraham, but the promise was in the seed, not in Abraham. It was in his seed, not in Abraham, now in the seed. Many people miss that. Many think that it was Abraham and there was a decoy to say, but it was a statute to follow. However, and whatever you think, the Most High said, what Abraham did is what he did is obeying the voice of the Most High. He was called a friend of God because he did that. However, Isaac was the promise to Abraham. The belief of the Most High word are the children, and many of Israel and don't believe are not called. See, this is the problem. This is the mix-up. This is what's going on. This is why we have so many problems out there, because we have many people out there calling themselves Israelite and not all Israelites of the promise. They're Israelites of the flesh. Are you with me? We're going to be digging into this. That is, that which are children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. See, you don't believe in the promise of the scriptures of this book. And if you do, and you obey the Most High voice, His commandments, if not, then you're children of the flesh, but not children of the Most High. You follow me? We have some children have the same mother, the same father, and are not the children of God. They're children of the flesh of Abraham, but not the children of God. See, you even have some who know the Bible enough, but not the precepts of God, and have his true knowledge. Those are not the children of God, just because those are the children of the promise is the ones that's counted for the seed. They're the ones trying to hold on to what's going on and understanding what's happening. So just as we look at the children of Abraham, but all the children of Abraham are children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. The ones that the children of God are the one of the promise who believe in what the Most High says. Are you with me? This is why we have to dig into this. We got to get to understand. See, if you don't have a ticket, look at it this way. If you don't have a ticket, you can't get in. So if you don't know the laws to get into the kingdom, then you don't have a ticket to go past the gates. See, this is what happens. This is a silhouette picture to where you can look at, if you don't have a ticket and know the law to follow it, how can you get behind the door? See, there's no entering behind this point without a ticket. So you need to know the rules and operations on how it operates behind that door to get a ticket. Are you with me? See, just like no ticket, no entry. Those who are not following the laws of the Most High are not children of God because they are not children of the promise, just look like the children of Abraham. But the children of the flesh are of Abraham, but not the children of the promise of God. See, they don't know the book and get the eternal ticket for the book. See, let's look at the promise and let's understand this deeper because we have to understand when Paul talks the law. Paul knows the law inside and out. He knows the inner working on how to do it. But you have many people go to run to Paul and they want to use Paul. And as they use Paul, guess what? They don't know Paul because I'll tell you in Romans 7:1, he speaks to them who knows the law. So he can twist it, flip it in certain ways to where he can get you to understand it. But then many people don't understand it. And what they want to do is take out and glean what they want and come up with their own doctrine and belief. But let's get an understanding here. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come and Sarah shall have a son. See now, what Paul is quoting here is something that he told Abraham and Sarah. So let's understand this word of promise because we're going to go into the law and understand what Paul is talking about. We got to get this understanding completely. Understand exactly what has happened and meaning what? The Most High promise, he will return according to the promise of a son from Abraham's seed in the life of the promise. Here, Paul is going to speak about hard precepts. Reason I call them hard precepts because sometimes these things are hard to understand to get their full understanding of what Paul is talking about. But let's see and let's understand the foundation of Moses and Aaron because we need to get this to where we can understand everything else to pull from Paul. Let's look at this word of promise. Genesis 18, picking it up at 10. He said, who? Yahweh. He said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah, thy wife, shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. Now, the Most High said, certainly he will return according to the time of life. Sarah will have a son. This is what Paul was speaking about in Romans. This is the word of promise. At this time I will come. At this time I will come. And Sarah, your wife, should have a son. Sarah heard these words of the Most High behind the tent door, but currently in the past time, having children, guess what? Sarah had a problem with that. And Sarah did something. We're going to be looking at this. So now Abraham and Sarah was old and stricken in age and ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women, after the normal use of how mainly the body is used, which way they have sexual encounters. So Sarah was old and Abraham was old. And he had stopped being with Sarah in the way that a man is with a woman, performing the natural duties of both bodies and producing children or of pleasure. So guess what? Sarah laughed about that. That was the problem. And it goes on more. Therefore, Sarah laughed within herself. So she laughed inside, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. This was the issue. Now, she didn't laugh out loud, but she laughed within herself. However, the Most High looks on the inside and not on the outward, and he knew that Sarah laughed within herself. This was the promise that was given to Abraham, but watch what happens. Let's get an understanding here. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh? You see that? He knew Sarah did something. Hey, did your wife laugh? Saying, I will surely bear a child, which I will. Mind you, he's telling her exactly what she said within herself. And Yahweh said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh? Did your wife laugh? For what I said? Shall I surely bear a child, which I am old? Really, Abraham? Did your wife laugh at me? Is anything too hard for the Lord? Is anything too hard for me? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. See, Sarah laughed thinking it's something too hard for the Most High. As such, he will return at an appointed time, not on your time, on his appointed time. At his appointed time, he's going to return. The time of appointment, a time that he appointed for himself that he's going to return. But they did something fleshly, and you knew what the issue was. But he said, I'm going to return at an appointed time. And she's going to have the son, being old. And he goes on more. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not. But she was afraid. Oh, so now she's going to sit there and say she didn't laugh. See, the Most High looks on the inward, not on the outward. And what did he say? And he said, nay, no. But thou doest laugh. The idea is laugh. He did laugh. Is anything too hard for me? See, however, Sarah denied it, but the Most High said, you did laugh within yourself. Remember, the Most High said he'll be back at this time. He's going to come back. The Lord going to visit Sarah. And we're going to go up to that where he did the visit. And we're going to go to Genesis 21, start at verse 1. And Yahweh visited Sarah as he said, as he promised. And the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. He did unto Sarah as he had spoken. He did unto Sarah as he had spoken. He did unto Sarah. What did he do? He said she was going to have a son. Goes on more. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, and at the set time of which Yahweh has spoken to him. See that? See, she conceived the son Abraham in old age, and it was spoken of him high. This is what Paul was speaking of. But it goes on. When Abraham called the name of his son, that which was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, which the Most High promised to him, that Sarah laughed about him, and she thought that she was too old and had the pleasure, even having a child that the Most High told them they was going to have, had it at her old age. Whom Sarah bare him, Isaac. Abraham named him Isaac, who was born of what? Of the promise of the Most High at what? At the time appointed. So let's head back to Romans and get this understanding and see exactly what was going on. Back to Romans 9:9. For this is the word of promise. Now we know what's going on. At this time, I will come and Sarah shall have a son. We just read that. We just seen that occurrence happen. I will return and Sarah shall have a son. See that? At this time, I will come and Sarah shall have a son. This is what he was talking about. We actually seen this now. Verse 10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived one, even by our father Isaac. See, because he had to do the same thing. See, Rebekah wasn't conceiving, she was barren. And Isaac prayed to the Most High as the father with Abraham, because Abraham wanted to have children the same as Isaac. So we need to see all this. We need to understand, get the foundation, and clearly understand what's happening. Genesis 25:21, and Isaac entreated Yahweh for his wife, who? Rebekah, because she was barren. She wasn't having children. And Yahweh entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Did the same thing Abraham did. Abraham wanted children, he did too. And he entreated the Most High, and Rebekah conceived. But it was one thing. This is the difference. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went and inquired to the Most High. See, these children struggled together while I was in there. And we're going to see some very important things that's going to happen that we need to understand. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people. The elder shall serve the younger. Now, we do know also, which is in a whole nother teaching, most people are going to talk about Edom, and then they want to talk about Edom and connect them to Gentiles or the white folks, which is a complete lie. 2 Israelites cannot produce the Gentile, pure Gentile in what the Bible describes as a Gentile when you look at Genesis 10. It's impossible. So it's nonsense that people teach that. A Gentile cannot be produced by 2 Israelites that is coming forward. They can act like Gentiles, but they cannot produce a Gentile. Gentiles is clearly defined in the Bible on what they are, and they clearly coming from Japhet. So how can they become Edom or Edomites and they coming from Rebekah and Isaac? It's nonsense. This is the problem with people who don't know precepts. You have many people who are going to try to challenge that, and they're going to talk nonsense. And all you have to do is run right to Genesis 10 and see the definition within the law, within the first 5 books, and you will see it yourself, and they're going to define what is a Gentile, who they come from. So if Edom, or you say Edomites came from Sarah, came from Isaac, and came from Rebekah, then they're talking nonsense. Total nonsense. That's impossible because it's defined in the Bible. But when you run through a lot of books, that's what happens. So these 2 nations, 2 manner of people should be separated from the Bible, meaning what? From promise is one and the other one is not. One was born and the first was going to serve the second born. And however, the promise was only in one child and it was in the younger one. But guess what? He held on to it. So guess what? Was they born at the same time or was they born at different times? That's the question that can be asked and many people have a problem with. But we're going to continue on. Let's go back to Romans 9. And it says not only this, when Rebekah also had conceived one by the father Isaac, which this is what he was referencing. Even the 2 union of Isaac, which was what? The 2 in there, which was the promise of one child. Now, for the child, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, and the proposal of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So the 2 children not yet born, neither done good or evil, but as the older was sold to the younger, by election of the promise will stand, not their works, but of the promise of the Most High. The word of promise was in the child, not in both. The election, the same as was in Abel, and when you had Cain and Abel, there was twins. Who was the election? Who was in there first? Who was the promise to? As with Jacob, both was twins, shepherds. But who was he? Jacob was a shepherd. Esau acted the same way as Cain. But these two not yet being born, so according to election of promise, follow the word of the Most High, and not to your own drum. And then you even have the nerve to hate anyone who's not following your doctrine. They will hate you because you follow the words of the Most High. They hate you for this. They'll tell you you're in a cult because you following the words that you can see in Scripture, that you can see these directly in Scripture and see it for yourself. And all we running is precepts showing you everything of the Bible. And the first thing that most people want to do, they want to challenge sometimes based on words that they have seen in the concordance, not within Scripture. And then they think they have the knowledge. Oh, this says this in this concordance. Oh, I went to Blue Letter, and Blue Letter Bible said this. All done by Gentiles. But you hold to those. This is the problem. And then you will hate people who's holding to the word of the Most High, who know how to go through the precepts, who's showing you those, and you're going to hold to the words of a Gentile. So it goes on more. So it can even be their father, their mother, their brother, their sister, or a child, thinking they can come to him and hate one of you because you obey him. You see the craziness? They think they can dislike you and do you wrong because you follow the Most High, but they really hating you on it. They really just hating on you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's look at a little bit more of this. Luke 14:24. For I say unto you that none of those men which are bidden shall taste of my supper. See, none of those men which are not of the promise, because they are of the flesh and they do everything contrary, they are not going to taste the supper. None. They beat their own drum, their own doctrine, their own thoughts, their own theologies. Why? And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said to them, what did he say? Let's read on. And he said, if any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sisters, ye and he his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Why? Because you're going to hold to another doctrine. You believe and you're going to hate to something else because they holding to the word of God and you want to hold on to the word of whatever you believe. You want to think whatever you want to think. This is the problem. This is why it's so important to understand precepts and what we're doing in the Bible. And we got to get this foundation in here and pump and see what's going on. Because we're going to learn from these examples on what's happening. If you're under the true doctrine of the Most High, you're going to hold on to what you see in the Bible. We know Malachi 3:6, it says, for I'm the Lord, I change not. But they tell you different things. For I am the Lord, I change not. They have made the word of God in none effect. See, even that they're Israel doesn't mean that they're Israel. They're counterfeit, because how it makes them counterfeit, they look like it, but it's something that's not written on them. They'll sit there and eat shellfish. They'll sit there and eat pork. They'll sit there and go against the commandments of the Most High, challenge you, and say they're completely under grace because Yahweh Shai or Jesus paid it all, and he was an example for you to follow. See, many of us just continue going to lie to ourselves and think that we're going to go into the kingdom and we can bring all our luggage with us. We came in this world naked, we're going to leave this world naked. You better learn and understand this book because you got to take that knowledge into the new kingdom. You got to take in how to obey. You cannot come into no one house to where any of one of you guys, I cannot come into your house and act the way I want to because you have rules in your law that you have to be abiding by when I'm in your house. The same as if you come to mine. Are you guys with me? Understand what is happening here. This is why now this is the promise of the Most High coming of His Son. Now, as Moses, we're going to look at some of these issues. Now, we got to get this foundation and understand what's happening. So, and it says Exodus 32 and verse 1. We need to understand what this says. We need to understand and make sure we need to just clear what is happening. We need to make sure this is happening. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down from the mountain, what did Sarah do? Sarah and Abraham, they wanted to have a child at their time. So when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down in the mountain, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, make us gods. Unto Aaron. And said unto him, make us gods. How you going to make a god? This is the craziness. So, and it says, which shall go before us, for as for this Moses, the man which brought us up out the land of Egypt, out of bondage, we won't not what is become of him. Really. So we don't know what happened to him. He took us out of bondage, but now he come down and inspect the time of frame. He ain't coming down. Where is he? So guess what? The same as Abraham, the same as Sarah. At his appointed time, he didn't come down because he got an own appointed time. He meeting with the Most High. They said, no, he taking too long. Making some gods at our appointed time. Yes. We're going to make our own appointed time. So they gathered themselves and got with Aaron and told him to make us gods. Meaning what? We need them to lead us. The Most High brought us out of Egypt, which is completely nonsense. Total nonsense. Let's move forward. Exodus 23:21. And Yahweh went before them the day in a pillar of a cloud and lead them the way, and by night a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night. Now, you gonna make a God to do this? To go before you? To do this? Do you understand that the senselessness in doing this? The Lord went before them. The same as Yahweh told them, I'm gonna go before you. I'm gonna meet you guys in Galilee. I'm gonna go before you. They want you to make them gods to where they want these things to go before them. The Lord went before them today in a pillar of a cloud to lead them the way. You making a god, an idol to lead you is senseless. No common sense. To give you light to follow by day and night? Let's dig into this. Exodus 32:1, and it says, and when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron. So they want to jump on Aaron. And say unto Aaron, unto him, make us gods? Are you serious? This is the problem. This is the senselessness on what's going on. And shall go before us for this Moses. We don't know what happened to Moses. We don't know what happened to him. So we need you to go before us. And it goes on more. Let's go over here to Wisdom Solid, get some knowledge here. For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto the Most High. So making idols is ungodly and worshiping them is ungodliness. Both are hateful unto God. Meaning what? Wearing a cross, hateful to God. Fish, hateful to God. Fake Christ heads. You got people walking around with those with them fake Christ heads on their necks, tattooing it all over their body. Hateful to God. Hateful. This is the problem. Wear the cross in, and then they want to grab hold to it. We gotta understand what is going on. This is what's happening, and then we make it so he gonna punish the one who made it and the one who both wore it. Verse 10, for that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it. You see how he flips this on you? There's nothing more important than when you seeing people doing spiritual fornication, inventions of men. Selling images is nothing more than his own thoughts of God. Nonsense. This is the problem. This is why we have to get into the nuts and bolts and understand examples on what's happening. This is why we need to understand this. Exodus 32:1, and it says, and when the people saw Moses delayed to come down, see, we have to keep going back because we need to understand. See, the people need a now God. Now, we need a now God. We need him right now on your appointed time. Moses delayed to come down on whose time frame? Did he tell anyone, excuse me, how long he was going to be gone? No. So his brother did what? So Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings, which are in your ears, in your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters. Bring them unto me. Bring me this stuff. Bring me that gold. We're going to handle this thing. Make us idols. But it goes on more. Verse 3. And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears and brought them unto Aaron. Really? It don't say some, it said all. And all the people, not some, all the people. Didn't they just follow a pillar of a cloud day and night? And then they say, make us gods, and this is what they're going to do? And he received them at their hands and fashioned it and agreed to it after he had made a molten calf and said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. Can you believe it? This is senseless. Now they followed him by day and night. Exodus 13:21 tell you the Lord went before them in a pillar of a cloud, led them by the way day and night, and pillar of a cloud by night. Excuse me. And they say these molten calves that Aaron made brought them out. You see the craziness? Second, this is the second crazy problem. People teach that Aaron made the calves, and he didn't. Oh yeah. See, this is the problem because people are not understanding what they're reading. But we're going to look at that again. See, people think that Aaron made the calves, and he didn't. See, he only received the gold and had it made. So let's read this again to understand the Hebrew context and structure of the conversation to where we can see what happened. Now, it goes on more. It says, and he received at their hands in fashion with agreement to after he had made it a molten calf. And he said, these be the gods. Now, what you want to do is it says, well, you should have seen it. And when you see when they converted it back over into the English text, after he had it made a molten calf. After he had it made a molten calf. Who? Aaron. Why? Because you're going to see this and watch the context on how it's going. Let's look at verse 5. And when Aaron saw it, saw what? Saw the golden calf. He built an altar before it. And Aaron made a proclamation and said, tomorrow is a feast to Yahweh. You see that? See, he orchestrated it. But it's just might as well say he did make it, but he didn't physically have it made. He had someone else make it. So then when he saw it, he built an altar. But most people tell you he made it. He physically did it, and he didn't. See, he said, and when Aaron saw it, saw what? Saw the golden calf. He built an altar before it. See, Aaron announced that there's going to be a feast on the morrow, and the Most High wanted to destroy Aaron for doing this. And that's why Moses had to pray so hard for Aaron. See, this is where some of the problems started kicking in. Deuteronomy 9:20, it tells you, and Moses said, and Yahweh was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. Who told Aaron to build that item? The people. And what did Aaron do? Had the idols made for them, false gods. The Most High was very angry with him, and he was going to destroy Aaron for doing so. Understand what's going on. He was a priest to the Most High God. Moses had to pray for this priest because the Most High was going to destroy him. He goes on, and I looked, and I took your sin, the calf, which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small until it was very small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into a brook that descended out of the mount. And what did he do? He made them drink this stuff. But let's go back over here and just look at it a little more. Exodus 32:21, it says, and Moses said unto Aaron, why did this people unto thee? What did these people do to you? That was that I brought this great sin upon them. You see Moses trying to find out, what did they do to make you do this? What happened? To make these people to make you do this great sin. And he said, and Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest the people. Moses, you know these people, that they are set on mischief. So he said, he's telling Moses, don't be upset with me, please. But you know these. You know these people. Remember? See, we're going to go down a little bit memory lane with this. You know these people, Moses. Remember first when you're taking them out of the wilderness and they thought they were going to die? Let's look at that. Exodus 14. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, thou hast taken us away to die in the wilderness. Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? These are the people. And the people thought they had no graves in Egypt. So Moses taking them into the wilderness to kill them. Well, he said, oh, Moses, remember by the Red Sea? They had no water. Let's go down memory lane. So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the wilderness of Shire and went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. Really, no water they couldn't find in the wilderness. So what happened? And when they came to Marah, they could not drink of the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore, the name of it was called Marah. Really. They was bitter, being in a great state of wickedness. Why? Hebrews 12:15 tells you. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Yahweh, could any root of bitterness spring up trouble of you, and thereby many be defiled. If you root bitterness, you are rooted in sin. Let's go back and let's get some more information here. So it says, well, when it came to Myra, they could not drink of the water of Myra, and it was bitter. So therefore, they named it Myra. But watch this. And the people murmured against Moses, saying, what shall we drink? They complained, having no water. To who? Moses. But Aaron ain't done. Moses, remember when they thought you were going to starve them to death? You don't remember this? Let's go over here. Exodus 16:2. The whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness because they was hungry. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to Yahweh had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we had eaten bread to the full, for ye have brought us forth unto the wilderness to kill the whole assembly with hunger. Israel. This is Israel. A noun God at their time, not on his time. Remember when we had full flesh pots and we can eat whatever we want? We can eat bread all day long. Don't remember when you gather and eat them all together now and in the morning. Remember that? When in the morning you told them to get all the bread they need, but don't they can get enough for the day. Don't try to save it until the morning. They didn't listen to you. You don't remember that, Moses? Let's go down memory lane. Jump down to 19. And Moses let no man leave it until the morning. Moses clearly telling you, you can gather all the bread, but don't leave nothing until the morning. And what happened? Notwithstanding, they hearkened not unto Moses, but some of them left it until the morning. And it bred worms and stank, and Moses was wroth with them. It's Israel. They still didn't listen, and they still left it in the morning. But guess what? Moses. You remember when they called themselves scolding you about that water again? You don't remember that? Go up to 17. 17:2. Wherefore the people did chide with Moses and said, give us water that we may drink. And Moses said unto them, why chide with me? Wherefore do ye tempt Yahweh? You see this? See, the people were still upset and they were scolding Moses. Brought them out of bondage, killed them in the wilderness. They wanted to stone Moses. Do you remember that, Moses? Jump down to verse 4. And the people thirst for the water, and the people murmured against Moses and said, wherefore is it thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and cattle with thirst? They wanted to kill Moses behind this. Verse 4, it tells you, and Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, what shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me. You see this? These people want to stone Moses. So Aaron sitting there, you know these people. Just remember all this stuff that they did. This is the people. So Moses, please don't be angry with me, because when you was gone, I had to deal with these people. So when they did that, I'm just saying, well, don't be angry with me. Exodus 32:22. And Aaron said, let not the anger wax hot. Thou knowest. Thou knowest the people. But they are set on mischief. He's letting them know clearly what they're about. So don't be upset. They set on mischief, meaning to do harm and to cause specific injury or damage to someone or thing when they don't get their way. This is what they do. Verse 23. For they said unto me, make us gods. See, they told me to make gods, which should go before us. For as this Moses, the man which brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him. So when they said make us God, because they didn't know you were nowhere to be found, and they didn't know if you was coming back, I just told them, hey, I said unto them, hey, whatever have any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it to me, and I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. This is what happened. This is what Moses, you know these people. Verse 25. And Moses saw the people were naked, they was full of sin, and Aaron made them naked until their shame amongst their enemies. Moses seen their sin the same as Adam and Eve was, and they tried to cover it up. They was exposed to their enemies. Even the sons of Aaron made deadly mistakes, the same thing what Aaron was doing. You had Nadab and Abihu. They offered strange fire. Priests of the Most High. Priests of the Most High. See, Aaron married Elsheba, which we're going to go there. We're going to look at this. And it says, Exodus 6:23, and Aaron took Elsheba, daughter of Amminadab, sister of Nishon, to wife, and bare Nadab, Abihu, Elzar, and Ithamar. All right. Now they was ministers unto the Most High, holding the office of priest. Let's look at this. Exodus 28, pick it up with 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel. Take them from them among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. But watch what goes down. See, these two boys, two of them, was offering strange fire, which they weren't supposed to do. Let's look at this. Leviticus 10:1, and it says, Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censers, and put fire therein, and put incense thereon, and offered what? Strange fire before Yahweh, which he commanded them not. Clearly told them not to do this. Clearly told them not to do this. We're going to end up looking at some of this, don't even understand it. But he clearly told them this is not to be done. And a fire went out from Yahweh and devoured them, and they died before Yahweh. Why? Because it was clearly told from the law they are not to do this. Exodus 30:9, it says, and ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offerings thereon. You cannot offer this stuff. It's the law. They knew this. So if they knew it and you sin willfully, there's no more sacrifice for sin. This is what we have to understand. This was commanded from the law, and we're going to look at the New Testament to where it tells you, Hebrews 10:26, for if we sin willfully, willfully, willfully after we have received knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. You're it. Who's going to die? You. Nadab and Abihu both knew offering strange fire to the Most High was going to get them killed. There was no more sacrifices for sin. Your body is a living sacrifice, not some animal. So Moses had to call his kindred because they got killed of the Most High. So what Moses did, and Moses called Mishael and Elpazan, the sons of Uziel, the uncle of Aaron, said unto them, come near. Carry your brethren from the sanctuary out of the camp. Then Moses gave Aaron and his two sons some advice, because that's what he had to do. See, because you still got to obey the Most High. But what they did, you still have to follow the Most High. See, they died on disobedience. You better run your race. It says, Leviticus 10:5. So they went near and carried him out of the coast out of the camp. And Moses said, Moses finna give you some advice. Moses said, hey, let me, yeah, y'all come here. Let me break something down to y'all. Let me tell you something that you guys need to know. And Moses said unto Aaron, unto Eleazar, and to Ithamar, his sons, uncover not your heads, neither rent your clothes. Hey, do not uncover your head or rent your clothes. Acting like y'all want to quit anything. Don't do this. Why? Lest you die. And lest wrath come upon all the people, but let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail in burning which the Lord hath kindled. Don't uncover your heads. Don't rent your clothes. He will hook you up. He's not here to play games with you. This is not some religious playing thing. This is an example. The Most High will unleash his wrath upon us. Your brother and everybody else can be well for, but you better not, because you know the truth. And ye shall not go out before the door for the tabernacle of the congregation, at least you die. You can't even go out there and mourn for them. Why? At least you die. Don't go out there. You can die for it. For the anointed oil of Yahweh is upon you. And they did according to the words of Moses. They listened. You already seen what happened to the brothers. He will not be disrespected. Do not insult the intelligence of the Most High. Coming up with your own doctrine, your own understanding, writing your own books on what you think it means. You better run through them precepts. And Yahweh spoke unto Aaron, saying, now the Most High gonna speak to him. Moses gave him some advice. Now the Most High getting ready to drop some knowledge on him. Do not drink wine nor strong drink. Now I know preachers right now talking about, hey, I'm gonna get some Jack Downs and everything else. See what it says right there? Do not drink wine nor strong drink. Who? Those priests. You got a lot of men out there claiming They're priests of the Most High. He's telling you right here, do not drink wine nor strong drink, nor thy sons with thee will not go into the tabernacle of the congregation. What? Lest ye die. How long this going to be for? And it shall be a statute forever throughout your congregation, throughout your generations. I'm sorry. When you go into that tabernacle, you better not be done did this. Drink some wine, a strong drink. Oh, well, I can get me a shot of Jack Daniels before I go in there. See what it says right here, clear. Well, I'm gonna drink some wine before I go teach tonight. Clear. You better not. Lest ye die. Well, hello. That's a statute forever. How many preachers you know teach and drink, get drunk? Then you got people with so senseless where they'll sit there and they'll deal with preachers who came from pimps and all these type of hustling games and just found a new hustle. And then you guys went, oh, the Lord changed him. No, he just find a new way to hustle you, to get money off the people. Find the new game. Oh, but what about you? Never drank, never, you can check with anybody. Never drank a day in my life. Not to toot my horn on nothing. But the main thing is this. You have people putting themselves in these positions and they come and they sitting there telling you, yesterday I was a pimp, today I'm a preacher. Yesterday I sold dope, today I'm a preacher. Yesterday I was a drunk, today I'm a preacher. And that ye may put a difference between holy and unholy, between clean and unclean. This is how you gonna know. Something you really need to look at. However, you have people who are going to continually do it, and they're going to sit there and say the Most High is cool with it, and they don't even go through the precepts. He will be separated from everything coming to him, so you cannot come close to him, and you done been in that wine or drunk in a strong drink. The biggest. 10:3. Then Moses said unto Aaron, that it is it that the Yahweh speaks, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me. Telling you plain. And before the people, I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. Aaron had to keep his mouth shut. Something happened, well, I need to take me a drink before I go in there. Take you a drink and go in there and tell them like you're going to deal with the Most High. Well, we just lost this person and they was real cool. I need to take this drink. Didn't he just tell you, you bet not do this? He ain't asking you nothing. The Most High asks of nothing. He commands of all things. Leviticus 10:12. And Moses spake unto Aaron and to Eleazar and unto Ithamar, the sons that were left, because two of them got taken out. Take the meat offering and remaineth for the offering of Yahweh made by fire, and eat it without leaven, without sin, beside the altar, for it is most holy. Now y'all go take that meat, that bread, go down inside the altar and eat it. Don't be dropping no tears. Because it was disobedient to the Most High. Go take it over there and eat that bread. And ye should eat it in the holy place, because it is thy due. That is your payment. And we have people still continue to say, hey, well, we got to pay the people. Well, what are you going to do? It don't say nowhere in there where he said you're going to be pimping his people for some money. Because it is your due. It is thy due. That is your payment. Food. You have all these preachers out there being paid. Don't have nothing coming from the Most High when they get there. Nothing. Don't go in the book and teach the book and you're teaching a lie. Because guess what? Your end result is hell. That's plain and simple. And if you're sitting under those preachers who's doing this same thing, as is going contrary to what the Bible says, you're going to follow right behind them because it's the same thing. You're going to follow the same doctrine that you follow, the same person teaching the same doctrine, you're going to be right behind him. Thinking you can sit there, but you will be busting hell wide open right along with that preacher. But those sacrifices of Yahweh made by fire, for so I am commanded. Numbers 3:23. And Azar, the son of Aaron the priest, shall be chief over the chief of the Levites. Because it just kept having problems. So he getting ready to take out Aaron. And oversight of them keep charge of the sanctuary. Because what? One must remember, the Most High was angry with Aaron. And Moses had to save him. Deuteronomy 9:20, and Yahweh was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. Why? Because he had to pray for Aaron because the Most High was going to destroy him. Because Aaron had made that calf to worship it as the Most High. The Most High spoke to both Aaron and Moses. In fact, he told him at Mount Hor is where Aaron was going to die. Because he even told Aaron where he's going to die at. This is coming from the Most High, that Aaron was not going into the land because they smote the rock twice and Aaron was making all this crap. Here it is, Numbers 20:10. And Moses and Aaron gathered the congregation together before the rock and said unto them, hear now, ye rebels. Did the Most High tell them to say rebels? Must we fetch you water out of this rock? See, Moses and Aaron went before the people and gathered them. And first thing they said, ye rebels, must we, must we, must we. Is it the Most High? No, must we. Meaning Aaron and Moses were going to accomplish this. Fetch you water out of this rock. But it goes on. And Moses lifted up his hand with his rod and smote the rock twice, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation drank in their beasts also. Moses lifted up his hand, smote the rock twice. However, this place was called the water of strife. Why? This is where they was tested. The Most High was removing the burden from them, but Moses was supposed to speak to the rock. See, that was the first time. The first time he told Moses to smote the rock. Oh yeah, this happened twice. The first time he told Moses to smite the rock, showing how bondage, how you get something done. Second time you can speak to it. Let's look at these. Exodus 17:5, it says, and Yahweh spoke to Moses, go before the people and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod wherewith thou smotest the river, take in thy hand and go. And do what? And before stand thee there upon the rock in herb, and thou shalt smite the rock. Thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it. And the people may drink, and Moses did so. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. He told them to what? To smite the rock. That's what he told him the first time. Stand before them, smite the rock, and it should come out, which was a symbol of the burden that was placed on them to achieve a goal. And that's how they was achieving their goal through their taskmasters. And the Most High was teaching them that the first time they're going to go through punishment, the second time you obeying the voice of the Most High. Why? What we're going to do, we're going to see this again. And Moses and Aaron gathered the people together before the rock and said unto them, Hear now, ye rebels, must we fetch water out of this rock? See, Moses sit there and he told him the second time, speak to the rock. He wasn't listening to what the Most High commanded him, and he didn't talk to Moses in dark speeches. He spoke to Moses in clear language. And what did Moses do? Moses smote at the rock. Verse 10, and Moses lifted up his hands with his rod, he smote the rock twice. And the water came abundantly, and the congregation drank, and their beasts also. So Moses smote the rock twice, and he told him this time to speak to the rock. He wasn't supposed to. See, he even told him. See, and it tells you right here, drop back down to verse 7, it tells you, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying what? What did he tell Moses? Take thy rod and gather thou the assembly together now in Aaron, thy brother, and speak ye unto the rock before their eye. Speak unto the rock. Don't smite it before the eye. And it shall give forth his water, and thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. And thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. Talk to the rock. And they smited it. And the water should come forth. But what did Moses do? He smote the rock. The first time he told him, but he told him this time, don't do it. He goes on more. And Moses lifted up his hand and smote the rock twice. And water came out abundantly, so he still did it. But the Most High wasn't happy with this. And the Lord spake unto Moses, because ye believe me not. See, you didn't listen to what I commanded you. And sanctify me, separate in the eyes of Israel. Therefore, ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have given them. Y'all not going in. Why? You're not going in the land, period. Why? For not listening to what the Most High commanded them. Being tested and you failed. This is the water of Meribah, because the children of Israel strove with the Lord, and he was sanctified in them. He was separated in them out of all the people of the earth. When he was trying to show them something. Psalms 81:6, it says, I removed his shoulder from the burden. His hands were delivered from the pots. This is what the Most High was doing. Thou callest in trouble, I delivered thee. I answered thee in the secret place of thunder. I proved thee, I tested thee at the waters of Meribah. Selah. That's what the Most High was doing. I tested thee there. I proved thee. Psalms 106, it says, they angered him also at the waters of strife. Same place. So that it went ill when Moses for their sake. And what? Because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake unadvisedly of his lips. Ye rebels. They provoked him. Why? Ye rebels of his own lips. So when he spoke to Moses and Aaron at Mount Hor, about the plans for them, he's going to go on and he's going to break it down to them. Numbers 20 and 23, and it says, "In your house spoke unto Moses and Aaron at Mount Hor in the coastal land of Edom, saying what? Aaron shall be gathered unto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel, because ye rebelled against my word at the water of Meribah." You're not going in at all. But he goes on, boy. "Take Aaron and son Eleazar, his son, and bring them up to the Mount Or." Why? Because he's getting ready to change positions. "And strip Aaron of his garments, and put them upon Eleazar his son, and Aaron shall be gathered unto his people and shall die there." This is where Aaron going to die. So once you get there, okay, he going to die. Who's telling you this? The Most High. You can't change this. You're going to die there. It goes on. "And Moses did as the Lord commanded, and they went up to the Mount Hor, and in the sight of all the congregation, what happened? And Moses stripped Aaron of his garments and put them on Eleazar, his son, and Aaron died there in the top of the mount, and Moses and Eleazar came down from the mount." You see that? Why? Disobedience. Disobedience based on what? Not obeying the commandments of the Most High. But it goes on. Verse 29. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron was dead, they mourned for Aaron 30 days, even all the house of Israel. Really? All the people saw that Aaron was dead, and this was on the 40th year. Because they was getting ready to go in. This is on the 40th year. And they was going into the land. Aaron died on the first day of the 5th month. It goes on. Here we go. "And Aaron the priest went up to the mount at the commandments of the Most High and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel would come out of the land of Egypt, in the first day of the 5th month." You see this? This is how serious this is. This is the difference of it. "And Aaron was 123 years old when he died at Mount Hor." So he was a little bit older. He was 3 years older than Moses, because Moses died at 120. Same time. Well, we're going to see that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10:6. "And the children of Israel took their journey from Beerah, and the children of Jachan and in Mosera. There Aaron died, and there was buried. Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead." Why? Eleazar became the chief priest in the order of what? Of the Most High. Drop down, Deuteronomy 32:49. "They came up to Mount Abraham, unto the Mount Nebo, where which is the land of Moab, that is over against Jericho, and behold, the land of Canaan, which I give it to the children of Israel for their possession." So he go up to Mount Abraham at Mount Nebo, and guess what? This is where Moses is going to die. Goes on there. "And died in Mount, and goes up to be gathered to thy people as Aaron thy brother." Tell Moses what's going to happen to him. And died in Mount Hor, and was gathered unto his people. And he's telling Moses, you getting ready to go here, and you gonna die. And be gathered to your people. Why? Because you transpassed against me among the children of Israel at the waters of Meribah Kadesh, at the water of strife. You was tested in the wilderness of Zin, because ye sanctified me not in the midst of the children of Israel. Again, he did this to Moses. So what do you think he's going to do to you? To Moses. Sin against the Most High. Many of us trespass against the Most High way more serious things. Remember what he did to Moses and to Aaron. The Most High spoke to Moses as he speak to a friend, face to face. Let's look at this. Exodus 30, 33, 11, and Yahweh spoke unto Moses face to face. You have other people, well, Most High spoke to me face to face. No, you're a lie. He spoke to Moses face to face. Well, he speaks to me. No, you're lying. He speaks to Moses face to face. As a man speaketh with his friend. This is Moses. And he turned again to the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, departed not out of the tabernacle. He's getting ready to switch this flip again. He's getting ready to flip the script. But he didn't talk to Moses as he talked to other people, as he talks to us. He talks to us in speeches, dark speeches, and parables and riddles. We need to understand these by precepts. So it goes on more. Let's look at this. Numbers. With him I will speak mouth to mouth, even apparently and not in dark speeches, and similitudes of Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore, then were not afraid to speak against my servant Moses. See, not speaking of Aaron, his brother was a great prophet to Moses. But not since none was since like Moses. And Moses was not able to go into the land because of disobedience. He told him that he was going to die. Deuteronomy 31:14. And Yahweh said unto Moses, behold, thy days approach that thou must die. You must die. Call Joshua. Come get ready to bring people in the land, so you have to die because you ain't bringing them in. Present yourselves in the tabernacle of the congregation that I may give him charge. And Moses and Joshua went and present themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. Why? Because he's getting ready to switch it. Why? Because they sinned against the Most High. Moses was 120 years old. And Moses was in perfect health. Deuteronomy 34:7, it says, and Moses was 120 years old when he died, and his eyes was not dim. So he didn't need anything to be, his vision was not impaired nowhere. And his natural force abated. He was in perfect health, probably like a 40-year-old, 30-year-old man. This is what they're saying about Moses. This is how he preserved Moses. He goes on more, and it says, and there arose not a prophet since in Israel, talking about all the children of Israel, like unto Moses. None. Whom Yahweh knew face to face. So you think Moses and Aaron was taken out because they did these sins against the Most High? Have you sinned against the Most High in the wilderness, and you in the wilderness right now? You have crazy people taking people into the woods, telling them this is where you're going to go in the wilderness. You in the wilderness right now. Have you sinned against the Most High in the wilderness? You are here to learn and to understand what the rules are to go into the kingdom. Have you sinned against the Most High? First Corinthians, it tells you. But with many of them, Yahweh was not well pleased. But they was overthrown in the wilderness. You will be overthrown here. This is not a place of games. Many of us gonna be overthrown right here. Why? Now these were examples. Examples of who? Moses, Aaron. Moses spoke to God face to face. He was our examples to attend that we should not lust after evil things. What is evil? Anything that is against the Most High. If he tells you it's unclean, it's unclean. But most people like to tell you a man said it was clean. See right here, it was clean, and it wasn't. Look back in the law. The book is clear. It don't change. For I am the Most High, I change not. As they also lusted. So many of us thinking you have people going to just crowd in churches and do everything contrary to the Most High and swear up and down they going into the kingdom and are not. Neither being idolaters. You sitting there banking everything on a cross, on a fish, on a rainbow, on a false image of Yahweh. As is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Many of us are idol worshippers and don't even know it. Many of us is going to the lake of fire. Many of us is not understanding the seriousness on what you need to know. Many of us are not going to make it at all because you're going to come up with your own way of understanding and you're going to say, he knows my heart and he knows your heart is wicked. He knows my heart because you want to justify and rethink and put it in to what you believe the word is saying to where you can justify your ungodliness. This is what many of us going to do. Many of us going to do this. Many think this is a game. See, the knowledge of the Most High first is the fear of the Most High. We have to understand. Sarah or Ecclesiasticus 34:15. Blessed is the soul of him that feareth Yahweh. To whom doeth he look, and who is his strength? See, he's the God of Israel. He is the God of Israel. For the eyes of Yahweh are upon them that love him. How? By keeping his commandments. Here is their mighty protection. He is their mighty protection in strength and strong stay, a defense from heat and a cover from the sun at noon, a preservation from stumbling and a help from falling. Understand what is happening. This is all through scripture. 1 Corinthians 9:23 to tell you, and this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be a partaker thereof with you. Be a partaker of the truth. The gospel of the kingdom of God is not playing. The Most High is telling you we need to learn the laws of the kingdom and need to be operating within the book of the kingdom to where we can become citizens of the new kingdom. You're not going to go in operating on your own thought patterns. Many of you guys are going to sit under Gentile preachers. You're going to go straight to hell. Know ye not that which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. So you have to run your race to obtain your prize, and your prize is eternal life. This is the important part on what you need. This is why it's so important to be who you are. I really want you guys to understand exactly what is happening, and I need to make sure that this is showing because we're doing it on another deal. But we have many of you guys to where you into these false doctrines, you thinking you can do these things, and it's not going to happen. So with that, I wish that many of you guys had grabbed a lot of knowledge from this. And next week we actually going to go into Lord's many and God's many, because we need to start really honing in on this. But right now I have a couple of minutes, so we're actually going to go into the Moab a little bit earlier, and I'm actually going over there. So I have about 15 minutes to where I can do it. But if not, we don't have many questions, I'm just going to go on over there right now because there's other things I do need to take care of over there. But right now I'm just looking, and right now I don't see anything that is there. But hopefully, most people that they can look at the life of uh, of Moses and look at the life of Aaron and seeing the mistakes that they made. But you still got to remember what happened. This is the thing. Things that are going to happen to us, and based on what we believe, and not what you see, is the one that gets us in the most trouble. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know, and then I can answer right now. But if not, I'm gonna go over to the class. And it says, it is okay to hold a wedding on the Sabbath. No, it is not okay to hold a wedding on the Sabbath. So that's what people like to do. But you got to remember who started that, Gentiles. Haven't still received the email. Actually, Brother Jason, I text you a link, Brother Jason, a direct link to I text you a link directly to it. If not, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna text you a direct link again. So once I go over there, just give me a minute, and then I'm gonna pull it up again off my phone, and I'm gonna text it to you. So don't even worry, it'll be a direct link in. And I do thank you, and I do apologize. For some reason, when I switched over the system, the tool that we use, for some reason, it would have watermarked it, and then you would have heard the voice come up every time. So that's why we had to switch it to there. So I do apologize. It happens, but we're going to deal with them on that, and hopefully we have it straightened out for the next one. And Let me see. I do thank you. Mm. And how do you become? Yeah, you have to register over there, but I believe you have to. I believe they have people going through Brother to do this. So I believe you have to send an email there. He's actually monitoring this, so if he put up his email, he'll put it up. But I don't know if it's doing, but I was told to stop putting mine up to do that, so I don't do that anymore. Why are there different? So many different names. Well, Yah and Yahweh, that's something to be said by people. Because a lot of people come up with different names. And same as you have many different books. In every different books, you're gonna come up with different names. Yes, women also do wear fringes. They go to wear them in different places, but women, yes, they do. And promise, brother. Okay, yeah, I am I am. Yeah. The email might come to me, but 9 times out of 10, sometimes I don't get them. Please register me for tour precepts. Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Other. The teaching second day. I'm crying right at this moment, asking the Most High for forgiveness. Thank you. Hey, right on, my sister. Go ahead on. Um, yes, yes, but I'm still on the milk and hungry. Hmm. Can you please tell us when you come into New York baptism? Uh, actually going to be in the Moab, to which we have to see. We have to work that out. But Moab people are going to end up knowing before anybody. Um, my password stopped working in May. Okay, yeah, that's something you have to go through Brother Duda. Brother Duda is actually kind of controlling all that right now. I do need to read the entire Bible first before using precepts, or I connect the can I connect the door as I go along? Precepts is not what you think it is. That's what you think. You're gonna read the Bible first, which is good within itself. But thinking that you're just gonna be able to do the precepts, first know what they are, how they structured. It actually has some stuff in conference in it. And one, you need to know what the Bible is saying, the word meanings, and knowing what it's understanding, because he says stuff in the front, but you need to know behind the word what it's actually saying. This is why a lot of people mix it up. And actually, the ones who's in the Moab classes, they will actually come on here and they will actually tell you. The Bible word meanings is you talking about a whole nother ball game. But that helps you with your precepts. And thanks. Thank you. Yeah. They're supposed to be putting a link on here pretty soon to where they can do it, but I see somebody putting it on Amazon, which is fine. You can also get them there. And is there a difference between amen and amen? And I actually did both of them incorrectly. It's AMMEN. So neither one. I don't know what those mean. Amen, MAN, or Amon, MON. I don't know what those mean. Fort Lauderdale, I need to be baptized. Yeah, the schedule is going to be they're doing it another way because we had some security issues. So we're doing some things, so we just trying to work around it. Yeah, and to join the precept classes, same thing I say. If Brother Doodoo ended putting this email in there, then you need to do him. If not, just go to the university, but just put a request that you want to speak with Brother Doodoo. And don't misspell his name because he can get touchy. I do know at times, but make sure it's IDDO. So just put it to Brother Doodoo. So I've been trying to get into class, and if you can forward this to Brother Doodoo, do it that way. Yeah, I'm not, well, I see a lot of people asking for the class, but I'm not going to actually put his email out because it's not my email. So I'm not going to put that up. But if he decide to put it up, that's him. Yeah. Send all those requests to Brother Doodoo. How are we supposed to renew our minds? That means that you're going to be understanding the Bible completely and what the truth is. That's the renewing of your mind. So, because the way that the people do the Bible right now, they do it in the carnal state, but the Bible is written in the celestial state. So that's what we do. We do in the back. We teach you how to understand the Bible in the spiritual or the celestial state. That's what we do in the back. And then once that opens you up, it opens you up to a whole new understanding of seeing the scriptures itself. And is there a Torah precept class? I don't quite understand your question. Is there a Torah precept class? Don't quite understand the question. Is there a precept class? Yes. Torah precept. Don't quite understand what you're saying. A lot of times I won't use Torah based on you have a lot of them like to use Torah, but and the way you structured it is Torah precepts. And the entire Bible is actually based on precepts. So not just Torah. So that's why I said I don't understand your question. And what we said at the end of our prayer, you can say amen. You can always say so, and amen actually don't mean what a lot of people think it means. But that's a teaching which I'll be getting into later. Yeah, see again, yeah, yeah, just give him time and he will actually contact you. Just give him time because I do know we have a lot of people that sent him emails. So, and I have seen some people that I didn't know in the class and had some issues, but he's supposed to be letting me know before that happened from now on. And no, that's actually a lie. That's the thing where people saying amen is actually worship a false god. See, one, where are they getting that understanding from? Two, can they show precepts showing that's a false god? Because 9 times out of 10, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to run right outside the Bible and run somewhere else. And they're going to give you somebody else's understanding based on theology. That's the catch. Here, we never run outside the Bible. All our understanding comes directly from the Bible. And that's the reason why you have a lot of people who like to go against some of what I teach. And sometimes, what we do in the back end. But it's hard to run against it because we never run out the book, one, and everything we run in the back is all based on precepts. So precepts of the Bible is the key to really understanding, but For them to sit there to say that saying amen is actually worshiping a false God, ask them to show it to you. That's the first thing you should always say. Tell them to show it to you. But if they take you to another book, as soon as they take you to a commentary, I don't care who book it is. If they take you to anything outside of a King James Bible, and I would deem it as a lie automatically, because now they're getting ready to give you a thought of a man or a theology of a man. Literally, what they get ready to do. So that's why when you have people come up with commentary, or they want to sit there and say, "Well, this says that," or "This says this," and you show it to me in another book, it's about 100% chance I'm not going to take nothing you said as truth. That's the bottom line deal. And trying to find out, okay. Can a person who was married before and divorced remarry again? Depends on when did you come into the truth. That is your key. I did a teaching in the back in the Moab on it. But basically what happened is once you know about the truth and then you divorced and you did everything, no, you're wrong. But as I said, you have some people who will go against you and say no. But when you look at the entire teaching as a whole, how it works, you see, same as a woman who was committing adultery, as he said, you go and sin no more. See, now she has that truth. It's the same as somebody who didn't know, they weren't in the truth, and they divorced. But they'll say you cannot marry again. So there's teachings in there to which it shows you exactly what you can do and exactly what you cannot do. But people are going to teach different ways, and then you have a lot of heresy out there, which they're going to bring you to a lot of different books. So a lot of these that you guys are bringing up, a lot of those I'm actually going to be getting into. Mm. Yeah, Esau. See, Esau are Edomites. See, that's the catch. Esau is Edomites, but Esau is not what they say Edomites are. See, they say Edomites are the so-called white people. That's not true. See, because those are Gentiles from Japhet, and that's where the mix-up come in. And as I said, you cannot get a Japhet children from Israelites. It don't even make common sense. But this is what they say. So if they say that, then if Esau is the white man, then you saying the same thing. Esau is from the seed of Abraham, which is still a Hebrew. Because I can show you all through scripture where it says Abraham, the Hebrew. So he still show that he's a Hebrew. It's just nonsense, really, what it is. But you have a lot of camps teach that. And it's nonsense. Yeah, and I do thank you. What does the end of 400 years mean to us? I need to understand your question. Okay, so it looks like we're getting ready to end this. So I do thank everybody, and so next week I know everything will be straightened out, but I do apologize for the mishap today. That you know, it was out of our control. However, you know, those things happen, but I do know it inconvenienced some people, and we do apologize for that. So, with that, I wish that everyone that watched it, that you had I wish that everyone We're richly blessed from it, but right now we're going to the Moab to where we have to do some other things over there. So with that, I bid each and every one a shalom. And I have to